Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I don't have a bingo, but I do have scoring tiles, and I do have quite a few words which use them. I have gift, midge, fidge, gifted, etc. So, it sounds like my opponent has changed, and he has. Now, I'd like to get rid of the F rather than the M because it's less bingo-y. So fidge or fidget? I think I'll go with fidget, keeping just the M. Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous and wholly undeserved. So I can play chin through the I, but that leaves an awful rack leave. I think I'd rather sort out the rest of the rack and maybe leave the Q for next go, or alternatively change. If I'm keeping the Q, I think I need to score in the 20s and to get rid of most of the rest. Painful. My opponent bingos. Now, what I can do is play wrong, which, what does that achieve? Scores 18 points, which is just about enough. EMQ, the Q's worth minus 13, but the EM is positive. So I think this is slightly better than changing. Gosh, slightly better than changing, but retaining the Q. I'm inclined to change because playing wrong is only slightly better than changing, and I'm taking out floaters when I'm behind. So I'm going to change. So keep ENR or ENGR? Tempting to keep the G, given that there's the I of fidget for an ING ending word, and there is some synergy here, and the G helps the vowel consonant balance. So I'll go with this. Okay. This looks pretty... Oh, look at that. Ratify for 94. Brutal. Now, can I come back with a bingo? I've got retiring through the T, so retaining the G did work out for me. It doesn't get doubled. Do I have anything beginning with the S? Almost certainly ending ING. Again, can't see anything. Okay, so I can't see anything, but I'm grateful to have a bingo. Retiring for 63. Wow, 94 for ratified. Double. That looks pretty good. Close to a bingo. But even if I don't have one, I've got the H as a scoring tile. However, I'm 60 points behind. My opponent's on turn. He's just hammered in another 30. But he has provided a couple of useful floaters. Can't see anything with the K. Now, do I have anything with the E? Don't think so. So where are the spots for my H? Well, I need to consider the G as well. That's part of a bingo lane. And ST as well could start a bingo. So I can't see anything. So I want to play off the H to get a score, one of the R's and probably the O. So a play of row would achieve that, RHO. Horn, not good without the S. Now I could play horn down here, but then that's providing a super hotspot for a Y or an S, and I probably don't need to be quite that open. 16 minutes on my clock. I could play row and or. Now this has merit because, well, I was going to say it's opening a bingo lane in column 3, but it isn't. It's not quite. If it was one square to the left, it would. And I'm obstructing the E, but not massively. and it provides the opportunity to play in column 3 and create bingo lanes in column 2. So my opponent may shy away from playing in column 3 for avoiding creating the bingo lanes, and then I do have a spot if I don't have a bingo for a good score and opening a bingo lane. Rack leave, pretty good, especially with the G. Grain is quite a good 5-letter set, although ing words are precluded by ratified. And certainly rain goes well with E. And rain is pretty good for 7-letter bingos, and column 10 is available for those. The only bad thing about row is the score, a dismal 14 points. But I think I will accept that. Dreadful. No bingo here, and nor can I play in column 3. Well, my opponent has done and has opened column 2, which is good, so it's worked to that extent. However, well, I was going to say I don't have anything, but I have Agi down here for 33 points, opening a bingo lane, sorting the rack out somewhat. V's not great, but it is helped by I and N. So I've got the inver prefix. And 33 points is good, and I can't see anywhere else for the J. Except there is. I could play Raj for 40 points, so 7 more points, but I would be keeping INV. Tempting, because the second I is only worth about 5 points. And the V needs vowels to get rid of it. Tempting. However, I like creating the additional bingo lane in row O. The G, although quite useful, was of restricted use. Now, am I missing a really good J spot elsewhere? Don't think so. I'm going with this. I have proving, and I have nowhere for it. Wow, look at that. Virginia Lee, excellent play. Gosh, great start by my opponent. Now, do I have a bingo? This is quite a nice rack. I've seen the 7, that doesn't play. I've got the over prefix, over ping, not good. Nothing through the K. Nothing beginning ST. Nothing goes in front of nor. Proving doesn't play in column 10. I don't have anything through the I. What about... Well, I don't have any bingo through this E that I can see. It's tempting to play there, even though I'm behind. This is such an easy spot for my opponent to score in. I just hope I haven't overlooked a bingo with this rack. Okay, well, I can't see a bingo now. What's the best way of using this spot? I could play perv, keeping GINO. Not great. But 36 points is a big score, and that's why I'm looking to play here. There are good scores available. Well, what about Veggio? That leaves a better rack leave. Same score. Yeah, I think I will go with this. The rack INPR goes quite well with the E of Keat. Well, not great. In fact, not great by quite some margin. I've got 3 high-scoring tiles, though, but I'm really looking to bingo. I'm 2 bingos behind. Can't see any bingos with this rack. And it's a shame because there are a lot of floaters at the moment, but I suspect they're going to start to disappear. But I do have scoring tiles. I can't play parallel to wound. I don't have anything which goes in front of W. I've got the IUM ending through the U of Virginia. Nothing goes in front of Boar. So a nice play by my opponent. 31 points for him. What am I going to do? Well, I could play him. Side ratified. That doesn't obstruct anything. It doesn't create anything either. 26 points. Quite a nice score. Can I do better? Well, I can. I can play Phi for 30 points. MN slightly lacking in synergy. However, I am retaining I and M for IUM. Not that that's worth sacrificing points for, it's merely an observation. So, I will go with Phi. I picked the Q back out of the bag, but it's better this time around because I've got... Wow! What is my opponent on? Unbelievable. Another bingo for my opponent. 69 points. There goes the second blank. He's already got 400 points. I'm 200 points behind. There's only 20 tiles left. Now, my Q does have a floating U available, so I've got Quim, which is nice. I am taking out a floater, or a few floaters. But 36 points is a good score. The rack leaves good. I've still got the E's in Keat. I've still got the I of Adji. And there's still column 10 for a 7-letter bingo. Now, I'm 200 points behind. I'm almost certain to lose this game, even if I get 2 bingos. So at the very least, I must keep scoring to have even a slender chance of victory. And I think Quim achieves that. Just pausing in case there's a massive Q spot I've overlooked. But I think it's unlikely, since I don't have the U on my rack. So I'm going with this. That looks pretty good. I've got row bands on my rack. That doesn't play. So, do I have anything through the E? It looks like there should be something there, but I can't see it. Well, broadens, of course. Broadens. Which doesn't play. Do I have an anagram of broadens? I think it's Mandori's, which also doesn't play. Now, what about the I of Adji? No, can't see anything through that. Can't see anything through the K. Robands doesn't play. R needs an E to go next to it. I've killed the floaters in Virginia Lee. There's I and M available for a 9-letter play. With the letters of Bandorism. Well, I can't see anything there. Nothing goes in front of C. So there is a 7-letter lane beginning next to the O, but Robands doesn't fit in that spot. 18 tiles left. Just the 12 points for my opponent. He could be balancing his rack in readiness for another bingo. So, what to do here? This is a pretty bingo-y rack because it makes bingos and is a bingo. So I don't want to mess around with it too much. But the game still looks lost. I'm 170 points behind, only 15 tiles in the bag. Including a ton of E's, which is good. 10 vowels out of 22, so fairly balanced. So just playing off BO or BOD would leave a decent rack leave. Now, is there anywhere for BO? Or I could keep the B and play odd. Let me see what this scores. 31 points, that's a decent score. This is a decent rack leave, especially if I pick an E. So I think I will go with this. I have banners, and that plays in column 10, making re, and fidgets. Do I have anything through this I? Can't see anything. Well, I think my opponent could well be looking in this top right area to take out the floaters. Or he might have a high scoring spot elsewhere and enable me to play banners. Can't see anything through the eye. Great! My opponent has not blocked banners. Fantastic. So, banners 85. And I draw 2 high scoring tiles in the Z and the X. I'm still 80 points behind. And there's only 2 in the bag, so I'm pretty sure this is a lost game. I don't think there's any massive spots available for the Z or the X. However, I think Banners has salvaged a shred of respectability in the losing score. Just. So I have Zex on my rack. Can't see anywhere for that. Great, just 12 points for my opponent, but look at the remaining tiles. Very bingo-y. He's just played off the one tile left. I don't think I need to worry about my opponent bingoing, because the only bingo lane is through the eye, and the eye has to be in precisely 6th spot, and the game is lost, so it's not as if blocking that is going to alter the outcome of the game. Now, I'm 100 points behind. I've got 7 minutes left. I could play Zex in column 11, but then my opponent has got Zeals or Zetas in row A for a lot, so that's not a good play. Where can my X or Z play? Well, my X can go next to this E, but I don't have a way of getting that to score twice. Rex is good. So I have Roux down here, and this may enable me to go out in 2. So I can play Roux for 40. And that's pretty good. It's not giving much away. I'm keeping IZE. I'm drawing just 1 tile, so I may be able to go out in 1. Let's see. I draw the L. And my opponent has got, well, quite a nice rack. I can't see anything through this eye. So, am I able to go out with this rack? Well, I haven't seen anything yet. I've got Zell as a 3 and Les. I would have Ulzi from a U. Just looking at the 2 letter sets TR and EI, can't see anything there. I have Azel with an A. None available. My opponent might provide one. But if I can't go out, where can I play my Z for maximum score? Now, I have an I for going next to Q, but I can't see a Z play ending IL. "13 minutes on my opponent's clock, so he's been playing pretty fast. Just looking at AR and NO. Okay, that's been obstructed. I don't have anything which goes after ARE. I can see what my opponent's got left. He's got AC. So he can play that and stat, and possibly, if not's good, he's got it down here. And he's got a C and state, so he can go out. This is my last play. I can play Z for 32, so that's my starting point. I've got 5 minutes. Can I beat 32? Well, not that I've seen. So, Z for 32. Is that really the best I can do? Well, it's pretty good. Yeah, I think I will go with this. So I'm now just 36 points behind, having been 200 adrift at one point. But that makes no difference. My opponent is going to win. If he doesn't see an out, I've got LI, which I can surely play. Well, he does go out. Nice play. Pass to end the game. And great, yes, it will feature on a video. Let me just tell him when. Okay, so final score, 430 to me, 492 to my opponent, a winning margin of 62 points, so well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go fast. He has the cue. He dumps it. This was my rack. Let me just reply to this. I hope to go to Karachi next summer for the Pakistan National Championships. Right, so now this was my rack, and yeah, fidget I think is fine. My opponent's rack, great bingo by him of some gate. Oh, the only playable bingo, so a great spot. This was my rack, which was awful. Now I changed here. I could have got 24 retaining the cue, but the cue's worth minus 13, so it's just not great. Even though 24 is bigger than 13, the cue is a bit of a pain in the butt, and it's just better if it's not on your rack unless you've got a good scoring spot for it. So I'm still glad I changed. Now, great rack for my opponent and a great spot of ratified. Fortunately, I was able to come back with my own bingo, retiring being the only one. My opponent slows down with Keat a little bit. This is my rack, no bingo here. I didn't see that. J4. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. What did I do? I played row for 14. So I had a better rack lead, but I don't think it was 12 points better. But anyway, my opponent's rack. He plays wound. And this was what I was agonising between Raj and Adji. I suspect there wasn't a great deal between them, and I went for Adji. Nice rack for my opponent. He's got Unveil and Unalive, but he played Virginially, which was a fabulous spot, and was the only bingo. Now, did I miss a bingo? I didn't. I had Proving, nowhere for it. Govern was available. In column 15, instead, I played Veggio for 36. Is Prin 6 points better than IP? No, but it's going to be some of that, so not a huge amount, and it's not worth sweating small differences when you're shipping a ton of points in on other plays. Now, this is my rack. My opponent plays Wab. This is my rack, and I play Phi, which looks fine. Another great bingo for my opponent with a count. And I draw the cue, and this is where I'm 200 points behind. And I play Quim, and I still like that. When you're that far behind, you have to keep scoring if you can. And there were other bingo lanes. I wasn't killing the board dead with Quim. My opponent doesn't have a bingo, but it's a nice looking rack. He plays, and that's where he played Pole. He was rack balancing with a decent rack leave. Now, I have row bands, nowhere for it, and I played Odd at A1 for 31 points, and I like that. Now, my opponent has Stylies and doesn't play it. Fantastic. He plays Slay, and that gives me the opportunity to play Banners. And now I'm about 80 points behind. My opponent plays Aya. And although I'm 90 odd points behind and I've got the Z and the X, there's only one tile in the bag and I just don't see a way through to scoring enough. Zoo, N2. Ooh, I didn't see that. I think I should have done. Keeping EIORZ. Instead I play Roo for 40, keeping EIZ. Well, I'm only annoyed with myself for not seeing Zoo. I think there's probably not a huge amount between those, and Roo may be better. Because I'm less likely to go out in one if I've got 6 tiles on my rack than if I've got 4. This is my opponent's rack. He plays Tet. I don't have an out in one, but I do have Z for 32. And finally, a C for my opponent for 22 was best. So, a great game by my opponent, a high-scoring game for both of us, 492 to 430, and quite a lot of action in that game. So I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will see you next time.